What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. At the moment, we're at about a $2.84 price with 8 hours and 37 minutes left in this, the 29th day of August. Down about 4.2% on the day. The whole market's down, so it's not just XRP. And at the moment, I have to admit, looking at it like this, looking at this kind of area with this shaved base, I would think we go lower. But I'm looking at the 1 hour time frame. I was just looking at it, and it gives me a little bit of optimism. But it does depend on what we do between now and the end of the day to provide that optimism is well-founded, not ill-founded, okay? First off, looking at this, what has me optimistic is that you went lower than this low. You closed lower than that low. You had a ton of volume, but you didn't go anywhere. You didn't go anywhere at all. And typically, whenever you have a lot of volume on a breakout candle, but you're not breaking out, that implies that you're going to go the opposite direction. And that's kind of my thoughts at the moment, is that we would go in the opposite direction. But we'll see. We'll look at the short-term stuff. There's 36 minutes left in this 1 hour candle. If this is just a move that's only just begun and we have yet to see the repercussions of it overall, then maybe that's the explanation for why we haven't moved down yet, right? We have 36 minutes left in this 1 hour candle. But if we reverse here, if we come up and we close green, we start moving up higher and higher. This is what I mean by the end of the day, we'll know. If we're up higher, if we're back above like $2.90 by the end of the day, you guys, hell, even if we're right here by the end of the day, I think that would look good. Because again, you're getting breakout volume on a breakout candle, but you're not breaking out. That means you're doing something else, and maybe you're holding support here. This is a nice like relative double bottom. We look at the 1 hour time frame. Look at that. You've got bullish divergence on your RSI. You have bullish divergence on your stochastics. You have bullish divergence on your MACD. All indicators showing bullish divergence in a very scary looking candle that didn't really do anything scary. It's just scary because it's down here, right? It didn't move lower. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, here's where things get a little interesting, because I do believe in a double bottom. I do believe in triple bottoms. I don't believe in quadruple bottoms. But in all fairness, I don't know if this is a quadruple bottom. Right? Like we didn't even actually interact with this zone twice, right? Maybe that is the low, and we've got a lower low here. I don't know. I don't know if I'd call that a quadruple bottom. Again, it's not ideal to shave this area off, but think about it this way. Every time we've been here, we've had a good reaction. We had a pretty strong reaction. That was even a weaker reaction, but a pretty strong reaction. What we're looking for here is to have not a weaker reaction. We want to have a strong reaction. Okay, ideally something that's just as strong as these, if not similar, okay, or stronger, ideally stronger, of course. But if we have a weak reaction, that might then imply that, yes, later we will go down, okay? The more that you bounce off of a specific area, and whenever you start seeing these weaker reactions take place, that's often a signal that we will go lower. And maybe that would be, the beginning of September, we start to drop lower, something like that. But as long as we move up from here between now and the end of the day and going into the coming days, I think if we can get a serious reaction off of this area, that could be all she wrote for the bears, guys. We might be moving down at a very, very intense, or moving up at a very, very intense pace here pretty soon for XRP, the way that we like to. The RSI, you're at the same areas that you've bounced the last couple of times. Even before, you've bounced in this area plenty of times, you guys. 33 minutes left here. If you close here or a little bit higher, that's a really good look. The stochastics have a little bullish divergence on them. The MACD looks a little sad, but still technically has a little bullish divergence on it as well. There's hope. There's good things going on. It's not completely detrimental. And beyond all that, of course, you still do have higher lows here. Okay? Lower highs, higher lows. You're coming to the end of this pattern. Something's gonna give soon. Okay, whether it's up or it's down, something's gonna give soon. Let's talk about the downside, and then we'll talk about the upside. Okay, low to high here. If we break out to the downside, the likely area that we'd go to at least would be the 0.5, which is at $2.64. If we go down to the golden ratio, that'd be at 245 to 233. That'd be our next target below the 0.5. Now, this would imply that XRP sees anything from a 6.7% drop to a 13 to 17% drop. 6.7% drop might not be, and actually that's about a 7% drop, might not be that intense for XRP, but if XRP is dropping 7%, the rest of the market's dropping another 14% or more, right? Probably. At least 10% or more, right? 14% is kind of intense, 17% is kind of intense, but what that would mean for the rest of the market is we're getting like a 25, 35% drop across the board or more, right? So Hopefully we can avoid that. It really does depend on what we do, I think, in the next 8 hours and 32 minutes. If we can hold our ground here, we're going to move up. Right? And really, I suppose, not just hold our ground, but we need to move up. I stuttered there. I was like a broken record. Moving up is not just enough. We need to break out. That's the word I was looking for, right? We need to have a more positive reaction than we've had the last few times in this area. That's what I'm trying to say. From a high to a low, relatively speaking, if we were to move up higher, now the ball's in the other court, we'd probably go up to the golden ratio, $3.27 to $3.34. That'd be very beneficial. And if we don't stop there, it's because we're going to $3.44 to $3.54. At that point, it's time to start thinking about new all-time highs. Okay, $4, $4.40, all the way up to $5. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we were at $6 within the next week or two if we can move up now. But it has to be now. It doesn't have to be right now like this hour, but over the coming days. A bullish weekend wouldn't hurt, right? We'll see, though. We'll see. We're at a very critical moment right here, and this really could make or break the market. Right? And I shouldn't say break the market, but make it or break it for the bulls versus the bears right now. Are the bulls going to take over, or are the bears going to continue to go on parade here? We'll see. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.